Picture a small, frail boy born in the provincial town of Arras, France. This is Maximilien Robespierre. His world is shattered early on. At just 6 years old, his mother dies in childbirth. His father, a lawyer, consumed by grief, abandons him and his siblings, leaving them in the care of relatives. This early trauma forges a suit of armor around the young Robespierre. He becomes intensely disciplined, reserved, and almost unnervingly serious. He buries himself in his studies, earning a scholarship to the prestigious Collège Louis le Grand in Paris. In the bustling intellectual heart of France, Robespierre discovers his guiding star, Jean-Jacques Rousseau. He devours Rousseau's writings on social contract, virtue, and the general will. The idea that sovereignty belongs to the people, that society has been corrupted by inequality, ignites a fire within him. He even supposedly meets the aging philosopher, a brief encounter that would cement his life's purpose. Robespierre doesn't just read these ideas, he absorbs them. They become the very core of his being, the blueprint for a new world he dreams of building. He graduates with a law degree, his mind sharpened and his heart set on justice. He returns to Arras not just as a lawyer, but as a crusader. He takes on cases for the poor and the marginalized, defending those crushed by the old regime's arbitrary power. He becomes known as a man of principle, a voice for the voiceless. His legal arguments are filled with the soaring rhetoric of the Enlightenment. He champions science, arguing for the installation of lightning rods against the superstitions of the Church. And most strikingly, he becomes a fervent opponent of the death penalty, arguing passionately that capital punishment is a barbaric and ineffective relic of a tyrannical past. He is a man of ideals, a beacon of progress in a society teetering on the brink of change. Then, in 1789, the world erupts. The French Revolution begins, and Robespierre, now in his early 30s, is elected as a deputy to the Estates General. He arrives in Versailles, a minor figure from the provinces, dressed in his neat but simple clothes. He is not a natural orator. His voice is weak, his presence unassuming. Initially, he is mocked. The great speakers of the day, like Mirabeau, command the assembly with their booming voices and charismatic flair. Robespierre, by contrast, is often interrupted or ignored. His speeches, meticulously crafted and dense with philosophical arguments, fail to capture the room. But he is relentless. He speaks again and again, undeterred by the guilt. He speaks of universal suffrage, of rights for all men, of ending slavery, and of abolishing the death penalty. He lives a simple, almost ascetic life, renting a small room from a carpenter's family. He takes no bribes, engages in no backroom deals. While others seek wealth and fame, Robespierre seeks only the triumph of virtue and the revolution. Slowly, painstakingly, the perception of him begins to shift. People start to listen. The Paris crowds, the radical Jacobin club, they see in him a man who truly believes what he says. They start calling him the Incorruptible. This isn't just a nickname, it's a recognition of his unwavering, almost terrifying dedication to his principles. The revolution, however, is not a philosophical debate. It's a chaotic, violent storm. The ground beneath everyone's feet is constantly shifting. The turning point comes in June 1791. King Louis XVI, who had sworn an oath to the new constitution, attempts to flee France with his family. They are caught at Varennes and dragged back to Paris. For Robespierre and many others, this is the ultimate betrayal. The king is not a constitutional monarch. He is a traitor. The dream of a peaceful transition to a constitutional monarchy dies on that road from Varennes. The king's flight radicalizes the situation. Fear and paranoia grip the nation. External threats mount as the monarchies of Europe, horrified by the events in France, declare war. France is invaded. The army is in disarray. In Paris, chaos reigns. The radical sans-culottes storm the Tuileries Palace, and the monarchy is overthrown. A new, more radical assembly, the National Convention, is elected. And Robespierre, once on the fringes, is now at its very center, a leader of the powerful Jacobin faction. The convention's first major task is to decide the fate of the former king, now known simply as Citizen Louis Capet for Robespierre. This is a moment of profound crisis, a trial not just of the king, but of his own deeply held beliefs. The lawyer, who had fought so passionately against the death penalty, now faces a terrible choice. He sees the king not as a man, but as a symbol. To let Louis live, he believes, is to invite counter-revolution and civil war. The survival of the Republic, the very future of the nation he has dedicated his life to, hangs in the balance. In a chilling speech to the convention, he breaks with his own past. He lays out his cold, terrifying logic. This is no longer a matter of justice for an individual, but of public safety. He declares, "You are not judges. You are statesmen." Then comes the fateful line. The words that will echo through history and mark his point of no return. Louis must die so that the nation may live. In that moment, the idealist from Arras, the champion of the poor, the enemy of capital punishment, makes a choice. He chooses the revolution over his own founding principles. The Incorruptible has set himself on a path from which there is no turning back. A path that will lead him and France into the terror. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the past, please like and subscribe for more.